Guantanamo Bay was an issue that I probably spent more than half my time in 2009 working on, the detainees at Guantanamo, the detainee review that we undertook there, case by case, the efforts to find an alternative location. And the president directed that we close the facility in a year, as I'm sure everybody knows. And we actually did the hardest part of the job. We actually found an alternate location in Thompson, Illinois. We found 2 U.S. senators and a governor who were willing to accept this detention facility in their state. The local congressman wasn't too happy, but the senators and the governor believed that it was good for the local economy. We had this large empty facility that was not being used for anything. And we signed a deal with the state of Illinois. So we actually did the hard work, but the politics of the issue, as I'm sure everybody knows, went south. We reformed the process of military commissions, prosecutions in a way that I believe makes the process more sustainable, more credible. You heard the president in his remarks today say that our government should be trying these cases in the United States, not at Guantanamo Bay. We got through the Congress reforms to that system in the Military Commissions Act of 2009 on a bipartisan basis. We hired Brigadier General Mark Martins to be our chief prosecutor, a Rhodes Scholar. I was on the Harvard Law Review with the president. I'm told he had better grades. I don't know whether that's true or not. The system is, I believe, more sustainable, more credible. We obviously have some very big, complex cases to be tried in that system. KSM, the alleged coal bomber, and others. My personal sense is that the politics of Guantanamo are evolving such that Congress hopefully will be receptive to lightening up on some of the restrictions that they have imposed on detainee movements, which make it virtually impossible to send a detainee back to his home country unless the Secretary of Defense certifies certain things about the receiving country, it's a very, very high bar, virtually impossible to meet. It's a law that's been in place for 2 years. The Secretary of Defense, I know because I was there, I was his lawyer, the Secretary of Defense for 2 years has not been able to make one of these certifications because the bar is so high. And my hope is that the politics of detainee transfers is evolving and the Congress will recognize that we are fundamentally in a different place now than we were before. And this is a problem that's not getting any better and we need to deal with it. We need to wrestle with it. And it's also, I think, the sense out there that the security situation in various countries, like Yemen, is evolving to the point where we can think about transfers of detainees back to Yemen. Something like half the remaining population at Guantanamo come from Yemen. And we suspended transfers to that country a couple years ago, right after the attempted Christmas Day bombing. And so what the president said today is it's time to think about renewing efforts at transfers to that country and others so that we can finally deal with Guantanamo Bay.